Okay, so we can start. So, good afternoon and welcome to everybody to the Brussels Institute for Advanced Studies for this nice public forum on smart cities. So, my name is Emanuele Garone and I am one of the two program directors of the Brussels Institute for Advanced Studies. And it's really a pleasure to have you here. Since I imagine that for many of you it's the first time you're here, just a few words about what is the Brussels Institute for Advanced Studies, what we do, which are the various events that we foster during the year, and together with this, a warm invitation to be part of the crazy group of people that are around this institution and try to do something nice with it. So this institution is the first Institute for Advanced Studies that was ever proposed here in Belgium. It was proposed by some of the previous rectors of ULB and VUB, in particular Yvonne Engler and Caroline Pauwels. This room is actually dedicated to her. And it was born from the very beginning as a place where we could host high-level researchers from all over the world, including researchers from places with where there are problems for their freedom of expressing themselves and for their safety, with the goal of creating an environment where we can do research of high level without any taboo and, most important, trying to cross among the different fields, not remaining fossilized in a single field. And one of the running theme of this institute has always been the one of sustainable development and the one of scientific excellence. So the institute is composed, beside of this room and the foyer where you have just been, we have also another space upstairs that is a co-working area that also doubles as a second seminar room. And we have 18 apartments for the fellows visiting from all over the world and that come here to collaborate with the local groups within the various programs that we had over the years. So far we had several programs. The first program was for 3 years on sustainable food. It was actually during the years of COVID, so it was a little bit problematic to host people, but it still worked very well. My predecessors did a wonderful job in starting this activity. Then last year we had 1 year on sustainable robotics, where I started as a program director. And this year we decided to enlarge the subject on AI, robotics, and control for sustainability. So this event is a part of this larger program. Just to give you an idea about the overall program, so we have 4 main themes, including smart agriculture, smart energy, well-being and cities, AI, threat and security. And we are having more than 100 seminars over the entire season, 2 major scientific conferences, and various public forums, of which this is one of them. And just to give an idea of which are our goals and our activities, so as said, we have these fellows that are very reputed researchers from all over the world staying here for a minimum of 1 month up to 6 months. And our goals and targets are to really foster new ideas and collaboration. And it's the reason we have these fellows here and we have these weekly seminars to which you are all invited. To boost also the career of young researchers, we also have junior fellows that are associated to the center and that get in contact with these senior fellows and participate to the seminars and the forums like today. And what we hope to become, it's also a meeting point for an interdisciplinary scientific community that can meet and foster new ideas. Also, we have an aim to be in contact and interact with institutions and with the city and to have a constructive dialogue with them, and it's the reason why we have this kind of public forum. And finally, also to have contacts with the industrial and the professional world. And so this kind of forums, scientific conferences, but we have also organized purely industrial forums where several actors were meeting are the things that we are organizing. So in the season of this year, this is the faces of our 17 BrIAS Senior Fellows. We also have 1 resident artist in collaboration with OM And this is something that we are really, really proud of, because we try to cross not only science, but also art. You see, we also have some artwork at the walls. We have 7 junior fellows, 2 program directors, among which the one that is speaking to you, and various program deputy directors, among which Alessandro Parente, that was the main organizer of the day of today. So, just to finish my overview, and I hope I've not bored you too much, we are having this season 2 major conferences. One already happened in February and was particularly successful, in my opinion, on smart agriculture. And we are having a second one in May on battery management and future technology concerning batteries. The deadline for the submission of abstract is still open, so in case someone is interested, you still have time until the 10th of April. And we have a series of public forums, like the one of today, Smart Cities. I imagine you can recognize the logo. We are also having some forum more linked to the sector of defense, in particular on critical underwater infrastructure this year. There will be various people from the military world, from the institutions, from the European institutions, and researchers from various sectors. And we also had and are having various forums concerning AI and its usage in law, in economy, and discussion about the idea of responsible AI. Now, I'm almost finished. I want also to mention that what is very important for us, every Thursdays, we have around lunchtime a series of seminars. If you're interested, everything is on the website. If there is some past event that you missed and you're interested in, everything we do, it's also recorded and streamed on YouTube. So we are in real time on YouTube right now. So in case you are interested, just go on our website and you will find the link. So with this, I really hope you will have a pleasant forum. And I leave the stage to Alessandro, who is actually the one who really worked hard for this forum.
So thank you, Emanuele. And while I prepare my computer, I got the instruction that the speakers should be like around this podium, right? So that the content that will be broadcasted is the presentation, and then there will be yourself in the corner with your face at the podium. Huh? So if you actually move, there will be no one at the podium. So let me just briefly introduce the day of today. And so this actually was the question that I asked myself when Emanuele told me that if I was interested in organizing a workshop on smart cities. And I actually thought, okay, that's a very hype word, but what does it mean exactly, a smart city, right? So what comes to your mind when you think about this? It's fine if you have several ideas, because when I looked into review paper, there exist, in fact, more than 43 definitions. In fact, this is a paper from 2020, so I suppose that there are at least other definitions that have been proposed. So in a way, I could cite here Alice through the looking glass. Basically, you can get whatever meaning you want to this smart city definition. But the one that I really was thinking about when I was actually working with Emanuele for this program was the definition that I found at the United Nations Economic Commissions for Europe, where you actually see that there are the components that you will see reflected in the program of today. So what is a smart sustainable city? And you see that the keyword sustainable appears here, is actually an innovative city that uses information and communication technology, the technologies, the digital technologies and other means to improve quality of life, efficiency of urban operation and services, and competitiveness. But also, it's a city that ensures and meets the needs of the present and future generations, and with respect to economic, social, environmental, as well as cultural aspects. So that's very important, and as I told you, it really is reflected in the program of today, where You will not only listen to content that are related to technology or use of technology, but we really cover the entire spectrum of what this definition encompasses. Okay, maybe just a modification to the program that you already saw. Our speaker from TU Delft, Arjan, couldn't come, is sick today, and so we have actually shifted and changed a little bit the program. We will just finish a little bit earlier, so we have more time for the cocktail and the discussion afterwards. Okay, with that, I don't want to take much of your time. I invite Grégoire, who will introduce the different speakers. Maybe Victoria, you can already start coming up here with your computer. So enjoy the worship. Thank you.
So welcome everyone. Our first speaker is Victoria de Meue. She's a project manager, project coordinator at Innoviris for the EU mission Climate Neutral and Smart Cities on the Brussels Capital Region. She obtained a master's degree at the ULB in bioengineering, and she had a first experience as a regulatory affairs consultant at Redebel in the agronomy sector, and thereafter she moved towards smart cities in 2023 for the Brussels region, which will be our talk of today. So I give now the word to Victoria.
Perfect. Okay, I may begin. So thank you very much for the invitation and for the presentation. Indeed, my name is Victoria de Meue, and I'm working as the project coordinator for the Smart Cities, Climate Neutral Cities, the European mission. I work at Innoviris for about 1 year and a half now, and Innoviris is the regional public administration that finances and supports research and innovation in the region, in Brussels, the Brussels region. And today I'll present the context of this mission and the work engaged so far by the region, so you will have a view on the public involvement in the smart cities aspects development here in Brussels. But just to begin, who knows what is the Climate Neutral and Smart Cities mission at the European level? Who has heard about it?
Thanks to you.
Okay, besides Alessandro, no one. So I'm very happy to be here in my former alma mater also to present you what is my job today and this mission, because it's European and it concerns every citizen of the European Union. So to begin, what is Horizon Europe? It is the main funding program of the European Commission for Research and Innovation, and it has a budget of 95.5 billion euros for the period from 2021 to 27. The aim of this program is to tackle climate change, to help to achieve the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, which I assume you all know and that you can see on the slide, and to boost, as usual, the EU competitiveness and growth. So it's a very large program, and EU missions are a novelty in this program, and they are inspired by the moonshot programs, which were led by the United States in the year 60, with the goal of putting American astronauts on the moon before 1970, so before the end of the decade. And this was achievable by coordinating the public, the private, and the academic sectors on a large scale to reach the common goal of going to the moon all together. And for the EU, the mission approach represents a new way to bring concrete solutions to some of our greatest challenges that you can see on the slide also, So they have ambitious goals and must deliver concrete results by the end of 2030. So this approach gives a new role to the research and innovation ecosystem by associating them with new forms of governance and collaboration, as well as with the involvement of citizens in the mission. So they have to support the priorities that have been identified by the Commission, such as the European Green Deal, which also I assume you all know, and which is the strategy for the European Union to become the first carbon neutral continent by 2050, so big challenge also. And for that, we have the European Climate Law, which makes this goal legally binding for every member state of the European Union. And there are 5 missions. So the first is the adaptation to climate change. The second is beating cancer. The third is the restoration of oceans and waters. We have also to restore the health of the soils. And then the climate neutral and smart cities. So maybe we can link these challenges together. But so the mission approach, to conclude on this, involves a precise objective with a precise deadline, which is the end of the decade, so in 5 years, and which requires innovation. But you might, you might ask yourself why cities are in the focus, particularly in these missions. And, well, they represent 4% of the European lands area, but are home to 75% of its citizens. They consume over 65% of world energy and account for more than 70% of the CO2 emissions globally. So the Commission identified the need to support cities, and European cities particularly, in accelerating their green and digital transformation, which is also called the twin transition in the European language, and which we can call maybe smart transition also. And the 2 objectives of this mission is one, to deliver 100 climate neutral and smart cities by 2030, as I said. And the second one is to ensure that these cities can act as experimentation and innovation hubs to enable all the other European cities to follow suit by 2050 and to achieve the goal of climate neutrality for the entire continent. Regarding the timeline of the mission, it was launched in September 2021. And at this moment in Brussels, Innoviris, so the public agency, initiated a consultation with the other regional administrations and the municipalities, so the 19 municipalities of Brussels, to see if there was an interest in participating in this mission and to propose an application, with also the support of the Ministry for Transition. So this is Minister Alain Marron and State Secretary Barbara Tracht. Many administrations and municipalities showed an interest, and so Innoviris led the submission of the Brussels expression of interest in January 2022. So in the meantime, the Commission kept working on the framework of the mission to give the resources for the cities to be prepared to engage in this mission. And in April 2022, Brussels was officially selected as one of the 112 mission cities. So you can see here the official communication from the Transition Ministry. But now, who are these cities? You can see them on the map through the European Union. And the aim is to have a fully inclusive, geographically and culturally diverse cohort of cities. Some are small, some are capitals, some are medium. Some of them are pioneers in the climate action. Others are only at the beginning of their journey in this. And, but they are all recognized as, how I would say, for their willingness and for their motivation to go further and to push ambition regarding climate action. So there are also 12 cities outside the European Union, which come from partner states, as the UK, Albania, or Iceland, for example. And in Belgium, if we focus a little, we have 4 cities engaged in the mission, 2 in Flanders, which are Antwerpen and Leuven. We have the Brussels capital region as a region. And in Wallonia, we have La Louvière. Is it clear so far? Do you have any question? Okay. Okay, so all that is very good. We have this mission, but how are we going to achieve this? So the first key task for the mission cities is to deliver a climate city contract, which I will call CCC in the future of the presentation. And this is a contract that holds in 3 parts, in practice, in 3 documents, which are the action and investment plans, presenting the action measures and the budgets associated to reach the climate neutrality by 2030. And the third one is the commitments, the political commitments, which are some sort of memorandum of agreement between all the stakeholders of the mission in the city. The redaction of the CCC is an evolving and iterative process more than a document, because with such a huge objective, it is needed to involve everyone, as I said before, from all spheres of the society, so all the authority levels, from national, international, even with the European Union, to the locals, so the municipalities here in Brussels. The public, the private, and the cultural sector, the academia also, and above all, citizens. So this is quite a huge program which has been thought to be a process more than just a document, like inert document. So the figure that you can see on the slide on the right is called the Climate Transition Map and has been done by the European Commission to help the cities working on the mission. And it illustrates the context-dependent process that is the Climate City Contract. And you can see that it is meant as a systemic approach to accelerate decarbonization and where we can all learn from everyone yes, we are learning together to pave the way forward. So I won't go into every detail of this map because there's a lot to say about it. But it's important to note, I think, that achieving climate neutrality requires collaboration and, above all, breaking down working in silos, which is very much the situation actually. We need to understand the interdependencies between the actors and their actions, and to identify the barriers that still remain to change. So this is centered around the redaction of a portfolio of action and measures that address these barriers. And once the city plans is positively evaluated by the Commission, so the portfolio of actions and its investment plan associated are judged reliable and sufficiently robust to achieve climate neutrality, the Commission awards the city with a mission label. This is the name. And it is symbolized by a very beautiful plaque. I don't know if it's a word in English, but that you can see on this picture to be exposed somewhere in the city. So far, there are 53 cities that have been awarded the mission label in 3 different cohorts. And in Belgium, there is only Leuven that has been awarded so far. We hope that Brussels will follow suit very soon. And then this label gives access to an international capital hub. This is the name of this construction, aiming to support financially the capital-intensive projects that the cities have been putting in their CCC. And it's like a matchmaking platform between investors and projects from the cities. I can explain a bit further, but I won't go into detail now because it's a big construction. So we can now have a look on the Brussels Capital Region. It's the work that has been done so far in this mission. Sorry, just... So we submitted the first version of the CCC a bit more than a year ago, in March 24. So I was in Innoviris for about some months only. It was a big work. And for that particular situation, we decided to report only the region's plans and strategy that were already validated by the government, and not to engage in this process that is asked by the Commission with the CCC, but to keep ourselves in the process of the mission and to have a first evaluation of our plans. So this version presented a target of 47% reduction of the direct greenhouse gases emissions by 2030, a target of 67 by 2040, and to reach climate neutrality, which means at least 90% reduction by 2050. So yeah, maybe the key strategies that were presented in this CCC are the Air, Climate and Energy Plan, which has been led by Bruxelles Environnement, the Good Move Plan, which is the mobility plan, of course, that I guess you all know, the Shifting Economy, which is more like the umbrella policy above all this climate-oriented economy, also the Regional Plan for Innovation, and so on. The big, really regional strategies were put in this first version. And we also emphasize the efforts that are done in citizen engagement. In Brussels, there is a lot of emphasis on this, and on social innovation as well, in the process of the just transition, which is really worthy for the Commission. And I forgot to say that, yes, we focused in this version also on the most emitting sectors here in Brussels, which are the built environment and transport and mobility, which together account for 80% of the direct emissions, which is a lot. Yeah. So after the Commission has reviewed this CCC, the Commission found that the level of ambition wasn't high enough, of course, to get the label, since the mission's goal is to get full carbon neutrality by 2030. And so they set a benchmark, because the ambition is really, really high for a lot of cities in Europe, and they set a benchmark of at least 70% reduction to get this label. And they recommended that the region identifies a district, or at least a particular area, that could be declared climate neutral by 2030, and that would be acting as a pioneer for the rest of the region. And so between May and September of last year, we worked on an amendment of this CCC to include a neighborhood that could answer to this criteria. But you know that we had elections in June, so this was a bit complicated to put it all together with the government agreement. So after we explored different possibilities with the other agencies in Brussels, and different options with the Brussels ecosystem, we decided to highlight one neighborhood, which is the Tivoli Green City. I don't know who knows the Tivoli Green City neighborhood? No one? Okay. So it's near Tour et Taxi in the north of Brussels. And it's a big neighborhood that has been built by CityDev, and with high sustainable standards in the construction, in the materials that are used, and so on. And so we decided, to highlight this particular district. and specifically its latest development, which is GreenBees 2, because this building is, sorry, is expected to be carbon neutral by 2030, which is a goal set by CityDev in their development. And the annex of the CCC that we submitted in September also included other similar initiatives in sustainable and urban planning tools, like the master development plans, the urban renovation contract, and the sustainable neighborhood contract, which are the municipality level. This revision process after the resubmission has helped strengthen the collaboration between the agencies here in Brussels, because, as I said, working in silos is really a reality. And the responsibilities around climate action are split across multiple entities. And so one of our key objectives through this CCC process here at the regional level is to build a solid and robust governance structure and to create synergies between the regional and the local levels and the strategies that are already in place, because everyone is working in his side, and no one ever put synergies between these strategies and plans. So we want to use the mission and the CCC process to do so. And that would be helping to speed up the decarbonation effort. So after having submitted this updated version, the Commission pointed out that the carbon neutral area we proposed, GreenBees 2, was too small, of course, compared to the mission overall ambition, which is the entire territory. So you can see here the Tivoli Green City with, I don't know if we can see my mouse. I know. GreenBees 2 is at the left below. So yeah, at the regional level, it's not a lot. Yes. They also, I forgot to say, they also noted that the plans that we included in this CCC were already validated by the government before the region even joined the mission. So their main message was clear, and was that this CCC should be a tool for pushing ambition further, and that we need to accelerate decarbonation beyond what's already planned and what's already validated by the government. So from this evaluation, two main priorities emerge again. And the first one is to develop a molecular territorial approach that you can see on the slide also. This one is from Milan. And the idea is to map and connect the priority initiatives that are existing at the regional level to highlight the possible synergies at the territorial level, to give a clear big pictures of what exists and what can be pushed further, because we can connect some areas together and so on. So we are now working on this with the administrations that I put in the slide before, so we can eventually scale up all these initiatives that are mapped on the regional, on the Brussels region, to engage at the entire territory level. And the second priority was the investment plan. So, because from the moment we don't have an overall estimate of the budgets needed for each strategy and plan, which I'm talking about from the beginning. So the first step is to assess these budget requirements for each of these plans and to prioritize them also with their expected impact of GHG emission reduction. So we can then identify also the share that the region can bear for funding these plans, and what is the gap that can be filled maybe through the capital hub. That's the idea behind the investment plan that is asked by the Commission. And so to achieve these, we are currently working with the administration I saw you through thematic workshops, including exchanging with other cities that are facing the similar challenges. And for example, we met with the Nantes Métropole in France to discuss the governance structure between the metropolis level and the city level, which is very similar to the region city dynamic that we have also in Brussels. And as I said, with Milan, who inspired us with this molecular strategy. This is their term, so we are we are clear on this. And so, yeah, we hope that we will be able to submit a new version of the CCC, including these priorities, by September of this year. It's a bit ambitious, but let's try. And I'm almost done. Regarding the next steps for the mission, so I think that this ongoing dialogue and ping-pong with the Commission shows well that they are also in construction with this mission with us, and so this is really an evolving instrument. And at this stage, we keep working to position the mission coordination that I'm leading at Innoviris as a lever and a tool to support rather than complicate the Brussels administration, because, as I said, it's split between different entities around climate action. And so the goal is to bring inclusive and coordinated climate action across sectors, engaging a wide range of stakeholders and ensuring it aligns with all the other policy levels, like from national to local. And so, as you can imagine, this is quite complex. But yeah, we are also working on a note for the future government, which maybe one day will emerge here in Brussels. We hope this very much, because we need them also for this mission and for climate action. A coordinated climate action cannot see the word without a government, of course, and without policy decisions. So we are working on a note to engage them in the long term of the mission. And our goal now is also to extend the mission network, which is really based on regional administrations for now, to the other sectors. So here I am in front of you to maybe engage some collaborations with the academic sectors, which would be very important for the mission. Yeah, so I'm very happy to be there to present this. So as anyone didn't know, everyone didn't know about the mission, so now you are introduced to it. And so just to conclude on a positive note, maybe, one advantage of being part of the mission, even without the label, is that we have an access to exclusive European calls, such as the Pilot City program, which Innoviris has encouraged the municipalities to participate in, and with our support, of course. And so we had 3 municipalities, so the city of Brussels, Ixelles, and Schaerbeek, that engage around one project called Empower, for empowering local energy independence through electricity sharing and solar production. So this project has the partners from the 3 municipalities, but also technical partners, which are Energie Commune and BrUPower in the pilot committee, but they also have a steering committee. And they received an envelope of 500,000 euros to bring their project during 2 years. And it started in last September. And so, yes, maybe the goal of this project is to follow the implementation of energy communities, and so they selected 3 cases which are very different in their context to learn. Yeah, that's really the goal behind this call. It's to learn from experience from experimentation hubs through these energy communities. And this is all for me today. Thank you very much for your attention. And if you have questions, don't hesitate.
Yeah, thank you, Victoria, for your talk. It was very interesting. So, are there anyone who wants to ask a question to Victoria?
Don't be shy.
Maybe I start with one. Could you a little bit elaborate on how you see the collaboration with academia within this project?
Yeah. One topic that I identified is that, as I said, we don't have an estimation of the budgets for the plans, but we don't have either the estimations of the GHG reduction from these measures. And this is something maybe that we can collaborate on, is like modeling each measure. And this is, I don't really know. Yeah, the scenarios, even with policy measures, how this can translate in GHG emissions reduction. This is the main point, I would say, with the academic sector, because yeah, it requires modeling skills and so on. This is the first thing I'm thinking of, yes.
Anyone else?
Thank you for the presentation. You mentioned that one way to develop and to be successful in the development of these projects is to have collaborations across the private sector, the public sector, and the academia. What are the main challenges, difficulties that you have encountered based on your experience?
The first one is to discover that no one was aware that Brussels is engaged in this mission, and we have the example of today. But this was the same in the public sector. And this is more questioning, because this means that the government didn't percolate, I don't know if it's in English, but the decision didn't percolate through all administrations. And so the first fight I had to do is to convince the other administrations to engage in this mission. And it's not, well, it's beginning to really being established, but it's not. It took like a year, and yeah, I mean, I'm the only full-time of all the region working on this. So the other people who I'm working with don't have this as a priority in their job. So sometimes it's complicated in the day-to-day, to work together. And so, yeah, I would say that's the first barrier. But don't hesitate if you have other questions later to come talk to me. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.